Well, new tonight, the Connecticut legislature is considering a proposed amendment to the state constitution to clarify protections from discrimination.
Yeah, the bill has people divided. Lawmakers heard from the public today. Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wulfhorst is with us now in studio to explain the arguments being made from both sides here. Emma.
Sarah, Brent, this proposal would offer a constitutional amendment to add a line regarding equal protection, clarifying discrimination on the basis of sex, including pregnancy, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Supporters say this measure simply strengthens Connecticut's right to privacy, but those opposed are concerned this proposal would open the door to issues in areas like abortion and women's sports.
This is focused on the much broader question of right to privacy.
Connecticut lawmakers are considering a bill to amend the state constitution.
We're not creating any new rights at all.
It would add to the state's Equal Protection Clause, clarifying it's illegal to discriminate on the basis of sex, including discrimination based on preventing, initiating, continuing, or terminating a pregnancy, as well as sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, and related health care.
If the right to privacy is extinguished, if the Supreme Court says there's no such thing as an inherent right to privacy, then the government can regulate in other areas without inhibition.
Those in support say it's necessary to protect privacy in Connecticut, but hundreds submitted testimony against this proposal.
This is egregious abuse of women. Egregious.
Kim Jones, co-founder of the Independent Council on Women's Sports, raised concerns.
We don't allow adults to compete against children. We don't allow doped athletes to compete against clean athletes. We don't allow men to compete against women.
She says this bill would harm women and prevent them from being protected on the basis of their sex.
As soon as you say you have to be able to recognize someone's gender identity at the same value of sex, what you are saying is that a male, his beliefs, his sense of self is allowed to supersede or be equated to the rights of a woman based on her sex.
There are also concerns about the pregnancy part of this language, with opponents saying this would allow for late-term abortions in Connecticut, but Democrat leadership disagrees.
We already have a statute that protects abortion rights in the state. We're talking about a far more aggressive attack on privacy rights now than anything just related to Roe versus Wade.
Now, if passed, this legislation would not immediately change the state constitution. It would allow for an amendment question to be added to the ballot in the upcoming November election, where voters would then decide whether or not to add this proposed amendment to the state's constitution. In order to pass the legislation this session, the bill needs a 75% majority approval in both the House and the Senate. Brent, Sarah.